Hi everyone, my name's Azar. I'm a fire ganassi. That kind of means I'm an elemental and my hair's always on fire. And that sounds kind of cool, but not always. When I was born, I came out of mom and my fire was just too hot for her and she got really, really hurt. I, I never really saw her again. And all I have left is my big sister Velye. She's really cool, but I still kind of think that she's mad at me for what I did to mom. We were taken to an orphanage after that, and that's where we met Master Caligan. He's an archmage. He's really cool, but really, really old. So, yeah, I kind of get on his nerves, I think. When we got to the orphanage, some of the other kids were really mean to me and Velye. We were really different. Velye tried to stick up for me as much as she could, and for the most part she did. But there were times where I would get really, really angry, and my fire would kind of get out of control. That made Velye really mad, and she didn't like that, so I try to keep it under control as much as I can. My fire's a big part of me, but I kind of don't like it because the only time that Velye and I really would get close was in the summer when we could go swimming and my fire would go out. Those were some of the best times of my life and really the only good memories. The rest of them are mostly being bullied. There was one time where I did make a friend, and his name was Dorn. Dorn was pretty cool, but Velye told me that he made fun of her and made her feel really bad, so I should stop hanging out with him. And I couldn't just accept that. I had to confront him. So I went out to the garden and I started yelling at him really, really loud. And Mr. Lydon was there. He's the gardener. We don't really get along. My fire got so out of control, I burnt Dorn, and I burned a lot of Mr. Lydon's flowers. I didn't really mind that though. He did, but I didn't. After that, kids really started to stay even more away from me. And soon after that, the worst day of my life came. Velye was adopted. Now, at first, I thought it was going to be really good because Velye and I would both be adopted. But they didn't like my fire, so they only took Velye. I was happy for her because she was happy, but I was also afraid that I wouldn't see her again. So I tried to make her promise that she would come back and see me, and she said if she could. And I know Velye, she'll come back and see me. It took a while, and Velye didn't come back after the first month. But Grandmaster Caligan said that was to be expected. She needed time to get used to her new surroundings. So I gave it more time. After the second month, I was getting really, really worried. So I started to try to find out where she went to. So, maybe I could go find her, just in case the people that adopted her weren't very nice. Maybe they were hurting her. I really need to find out where she went. So I kind of broke into the records room, and I found out where they sent her. I went to the library, which I'm also not allowed in. The librarian doesn't like my fire either. She says it doesn't really go well with her books. I guess that's right. Grandmaster Caligan helped me find a bunch of books and some maps, and Velye was really, really close. I was able to get to her tonight if I wanted to. So I snuck out and I ran down to the house that she was living in. I was really worried about her, but when I got there, all I heard was laughter. I looked inside the window and I saw Velye. She was laughing and playing. I was so relieved. She was safe. And then I saw somebody else come in. It was Dorn. She was laughing and playing with Dorn. The guy that she said was so mean to her. He must have been adopted to this family too. But maybe that's okay. What? Dorn just ran up and hugged her. What? That's when I got really, really, really mad. And my fire kind of got bigger than I've ever seen it before. The house caught on fire. I ran around to the front to try and get Velye out, and I saw her being carried out by her heir. I was so happy. But nobody else came out. The fire burnt down, and others came to help, but nobody else made it out. Her new family was gone. I ran back to the forest and hid, and that's when some of the helpers came by and I heard them talking. They were saying that they felt sorry for her, that she would have to go back to the orphanage. I don't know why, but that made me so happy. And I ran right back to the orphanage and tried going to bed. But then I started to feel really guilty. I had hurt people. My fire had hurt people. So I spent the rest of the night cleaning Velye's room and getting it ready for her return. Maybe that would make her happy. A few days later, Velye came back, and I greeted her at the door, but she didn't seem happy to see me. She told me that she wasn't back to visit, and I told her, I know, I got your room ready for you, hoping that that would make her happy. It didn't. She ran to the desk and asked the house mother if she could get a new room, as far away from me as possible. That really hurt. But Grandmaster Callaghan said that it would take time, that she'd been through something traumatic, and that she would come around eventually. So I just tried to help as much as I could, and I did a little bit, but she started to avoid me. I don't know what I can do, but I have to do something. I can't deal with Velye hating me. Not anymore.